Hi, I'm Caroline Lem, President and CEO of the GOA Regional Business Association. Welcome to Down to Business with GOA. My guest today is David Litt, founder and CEO of Blue Star Technology. Welcome, David.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. IT services, I know that's what you do, but IT services is very broad. Can you give us a little bit more detail about what you specifically do?
Sure. We help businesses with their IT needs in general. We basically help them in two different ways. We facilitate service with clients that have an existing IT staff where we augment that staff, and then we assist businesses that have no IT support whatsoever, and we take responsibility in those cases from A to Z throughout the organization with their IT.
Okay, and I know that you deal with a lot of CEOs and decision makers that aren't experts in IT. So, how can you work with them so that they're getting the best services from when they're looking for an IT firm?
One of the things we like to do in our initial presentation is a IT health report. We give our prospects at that point a 127-page very technical report and a business summary of about 8 or 9 pages, depending on how big their organization is. And in that report, it tells a little bit about, at a business level, just having a business conversation rather than in a very technical way, of some of the challenges that are on their network and the sophistication of passwords, and if they've deleted users who are no longer employees. It goes through probably a checklist of 20 or 30 different items that are very important and critical in kind of assessing the state of the state.
And what are some of the options that people have today if they're looking to buy a server or workstations for their employees? What are some of the options that they have today?
Of course, businesses have the opportunity to use those traditional options, such as purchasing their own equipment, having us purchase equipment. We have a leasing partner that we'll introduce our clients to if they choose to take that road. But one of the new options that we've had for about 18 months that seems to have really good traction with our clients is the opportunity to get rid of capital expenditures, big expenses, one-time expenses like servers, workstations, big software purchases. And what we'll do is we'll move them into our data center. And when we move them into our data center, our clients, that is, we allow them to exist on our infrastructure, on our servers. And they're able to use our services on a monthly basis, getting the latest and greatest software, and that way they stay up to date. They get rid of these big expenses and turn it into, or capital expenditures, and turn them into monthly expenses, which seems to be of great benefit to them. Mm-hmm.
And a probably better use of their money going on a monthly basis rather than having to put
Absolutely.
all that money up front.
Yep.
And that would be, is that cloud computing or is that something different
Right.
than cloud computing?
Cloud computing is really outsourcing hardware and or software needs, and moving into that data center that I mentioned is a great way to get on the cloud. It's not always the appropriate suggestion. It's a buzzword that's overused many times, but it can be a great way to deal with backup and disaster recovery, and because there's redundancies in the cloud, and it can be a way to get rid of the bottleneck on a network or through the internet, and can be a great resource if it's implemented in the right way. And we do that through the discovery process when we are first dealing, meeting a client in that discovery phase, and that can be a potential suggestion that we offer to a client.
Great. Well, that's some good information. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And very interesting to learn more about Blue Star Technology. And thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Down to Business with GOA.